Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Joe. Today I want to talk a little bit about Linux Mint 21. Well, it's quite a while since it has been released. It's always a few weeks or months after the release of Ubuntu LTS, which was released in April 2022. Well, I am a little bit late, but maybe you're interested anyway. So, glad you joined the channel. So, let's start. Before I begin, let's have a look at the website of Linux Mint. Here you can download the ISO. I don't show the installation process because I think you will find that 1,000 times on the internet. But it may be interesting for you what Linux Mint is. Well, here you can go to download, and here you can see there are different versions of Linux Mint. So this is the latest version. The official release is Linux Mint 21, and here you have other versions, for example, LMDE 5. LMDE means Linux Mint Debian Edition, and this is version 5. And here we can go to all versions, and you can download here whatever you like. You can see here what is the package base for each Linux Mint release. For example, here you have 21, and the package base is Ubuntu 22.04, codename Jammy. And you can also download 20.3 or 20.2, and this is based on Ubuntu 20.04. Why is that? This is because Linux Mint is supported 5 years. So if the package base is Ubuntu 20.04, it is supported until 2025. But if the package base is 22.04, it is supported until 2027, 5 years from now. So, and as you can see, there are different editions of Linux Mint. Here is Cinnamon, Mate, and XFCE. Well, this is the desktop environment. But if you have a slower computer or a weaker computer, you can use Mate or XFCE. The functionality of Mate or XFCE is very good, and you will miss nothing. Cinnamon is more modern, and there are many things that are not included in Mate or XFCE. My wife uses Linux Mint Mate, and she enjoys it very much. As I said, you have LMDE, Linux Mint Debian Edition, based on Debian Bullseye. Now something is popping up here. I normally would show you that later, but okay, they show me now that there are updates available. I first want to show you the welcome screen. And the welcome screen is, in my opinion, very, very good. Here are the first steps. For example, you can choose another desktop color if you don't like the green. As you can see here, the folder is green. And I personally prefer blue. I always choose blue if it's possible. But I'm not a Linux Mint user, although I like it very much. I use Debian, as you know, if you follow my channel. So here you can choose another desktop color. I can show you that here. Now you can see the color is changing. I'll leave it as it was. And you can also, with one click, choose a dark mode if you like that. I personally prefer dark mode because I think it's better for my eyes, but maybe you think different. But for the video, let's leave it as it is. So you can choose a traditional or a modern panel layout design. Now default is the modern design, but before that, before the modern design existed, Linux Mint did look like this, and some users are accustomed to that design, and so Linux Mint developers offer the opportunity to choose. You can choose the modern, the new design, or you can choose the traditional design. I think this is a very good idea. So here, system snapshots with time shift. I made a video about that, and so I don't want to show it now. You can do automatic system snapshots, and you can also back up your home folder if you like. This is a very powerful tool, and I strongly recommend that you should use it. Here you have the driver manager, and before the update manager, now we can launch it, and here we can update our system. After the installation, it depends on how old your ISO is, how many updates are available. In my case, my ISO is very old, so it's a new installation, and I would have many updates. I don't do it now because this would last long, and I think it's not very interesting for you to see that the system is updating. I close this again. And now we can go to the system settings and the software manager. In the system settings, you can configure your operating system the way you like. There are some categories here: appearance, preferences, hardware, and administration. Here you can change the appearance of the system. And it's not only colors or something like that. You can also change the theme. So, for example, I open here the themes, and you see we have Mint Y icons. We have Mint Y applications, and we have here the mouse pointer, and we have Mint Y dark for this menu here. And you can change that very easily. Let's go to the font selection, and here you can see I changed something already, and this is the reason why all the fonts are a little bit larger than normal, because I did that for the video, that you can read better. In default it's only on 1. I also can change it more, and now you see it much better. But for some windows it may be a little bit too large, so I leave it here on 1.3. But you also can change the default font and the window title font. For example, the window title font is that here, and this is Ubuntu Medium 10. If you want to enlarge that, you can do it here and at 13, for example. Now you see system settings is larger. Let's go back to 10. And you see there are so many things here you can change. If I would show you all you can do here, the video would last 2 hours. I'm not joking. It's so much you can do here. If you go to administration, you have the driver manager. For example, if you have an NVIDIA or an AMD graphic card or something like that, you can install the drivers here. Linux Mint will show you what drivers are available, and you can easily install it if a driver is available. So you can activate a firewall if you like. You can change the login window. Here, users and groups, you can add new users if you like. For that, you need the password. So here you see I'm Joe. I'm the administrator here. I have a password. This is the password you created on the installation, and I am in a few groups. And now you can add another user here, and you say, okay, the account type is standard, not the administrator, and he has a full name, he has a username, and now you can create a password and so on, and you can add groups to the user, and here you can upload a picture for your user. I'm not a big fan of hot corners, but if you like that, you can enable the corner here. This is the left corner up there. So if you go with the mouse to the left corner up there, it will show all the workspaces. Let's see how it works. And now we see we have 4 workspaces enabled, and we can see them here. This is a nice tool. I don't like it because I don't like that something happens if I accidentally move to the corner. So let's go to the software manager. It takes a little time, but this is only the first time. They have to sync with the repositories. These are the Linux Mint repositories. You see the editors picks. We have VirtualBox on first place. We have Inkscape, FileZilla, Calibre, but we also have Spotify and Steam or Google Earth. Not everybody will like Spotify because Spotify is not open source. Neither is Google Earth. But it's here. If you like it, it's not installed. If you like that stuff, you can install it very easily. And if you don't like, yes, no problem. Now here we have the categories, and you see here accessories, phones, games, graphics, internet, office, and so on. And we also here have a button with a Flatpak because Linux Mint supports Flatpak. And this is different to Ubuntu because Ubuntu does support snaps. It's also a container format, and Linux Mint often said that they don't like snaps and they have disabled the usage of snaps. There are ways to activate snaps again. This is not a problem if you like snaps, but they prefer Flatpaks, and Flatpaks are integrated into the system, as you can see here. And what is the advantage of Flatpaks? Now, the advantage is that the applications are newer. For example, here you can have the newest Kdenlive, and the Flatpak of Kdenlive is, if I'm right, let's have a look before I tell you something wrong. Yeah, the package is provided by org.de Kdenlive, and it's on FlatHub. That means it is from the developers. Flatpaks are much larger. Before you use Flatpaks, overthink that, because Kdenlive, for example, is also in the repositories. And if it's enough for you to use the old version, or not the old version, the older version, there's no need to use the Flatpak. You often find closed source applications here developed as a Flatpak for you for an easy install if you need that, if you need a Telegram. Now let's open here, and here you have the categories, and here you have the applications. Oh, well, I don't go through that too long because it's nothing special if LibreOffice is here pre-installed, because this is in almost every Linux distribution nowadays. I close that again because this is self-explaining. You don't need me to see that. Here is the panel, and now you can edit the panel. And here are some panel settings. I show you. You can configure the panel height. It's now on 40, as you see. You can make it larger. You can auto hide the panel appearance, left zone, center zone, right zone. This is the left zone here, down, and this would be the center zone, but there is nothing in now, and this is a right zone. And now you can change the font size of that. There are no fonts now enabled here, but you can do that if you like, and you can scale to panel size optimally. This is default for the icon size here, but you can make it much smaller if you don't like that, or if you have more icons here enabled. So I leave it as it was. You see, you can do so many things here. It's fascinating. And here are applets, and these are the applets for the panel. You can add some applets to the panel. So now it's right. For example, here you see what is enabled, but let's look for something that is not enabled. Recent documents, for example. If you want to have an icon for your recent documents that you recently opened, you can add that to the panel. By the way, if you want to support my channel, you can do that on many ways. You can subscribe to my channel, you can like my videos, you can write a comment, or if you like this, you can buy that, for example, on Amazon or on Spreadshirt or on Redbubble if you like that. Linux is awesome, and it's available in different colors. And as you can see, it's a very nice design, and you can support my channel if you buy this t-shirt. And these are not all applets available, because you can download many others, and you can see here there are 171 other applets you can use here on the panel in Linux Mint, Cinnamon. And this is a main difference between Cinnamon and Mate or XFCE, because the panel in Cinnamon is very special, and you don't have 171 applets in Mate or XFCE. But the question is, do you need that or not? So maybe it doesn't matter. As I said, my wife uses Linux Mint Mate, and she's absolutely happy with that. Here you can see a weather applet, but you have to download it first before you can install it to your panel. And this is the Filemanager. I like the Filemanager very much. And here you can see my book about Linux Mint 21 in German language, and it will soon be available in English language too. This is me, and this is my book. At the moment only in German language, but I'm working on the English version too. I like the Filemanager here. I think it's much better than Nautilus, which is included in Ubuntu, GNOME. And if you want another background, you can here right click, change desktop background, Vanessa, and here you have some landscapes. I personally don't landscapes. Not that I don't like the pictures, they are great, but I don't like it as a background. But for example, if you're a tennis fan, here you see tennis court. This is more what I like. Yeah, blue lines. but here are the Linux Mint backgrounds, and I think it was that or that. Don't know. It wasn't that, but I like that. I'm very interested what you think about Linux Mint 21. I think it's a very solid, good distro with the user in mind. And if you compare it to Linux Mint 20, not much changed. It's solid and it's good. I like Linux Mint a lot. Although I personally prefer Debian, but that doesn't mean that Linux Mint is bad. So, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned, stay safe, and I see you on my next video. Bye bye.